Well, it is Wednesday, the 16th day of March 2022, a day when IEBC has sworn in its new CEO. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch tonight. Thank you for choosing Hope TV, where you look and live. I'm Tess Jenka and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let us kick off. Hussein Marjan is the new IEBC Chief Executive Officer after being sworn into office. Marjan was sworn in at the Supreme Court building today in a ceremony presided over by Chief Justice Martha Koome. IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati expressed confidence in Marjan's leadership even as the country prepares for a general election. In his speech, the new IEBC boss assured the electoral body will oversee all aspects of the August general elections and make sure it is free and fair. Here is Dolly Murigi with a story.
Hussein Marjan is now the IEBC Chief Executive Officer after being sworn in office on Wednesday. Marjan has been holding the office in an acting capacity since 2018, taking over from Ezra Chiluba, who is now the Director General of the Communication Authority of Kenya. Marjan will help the IEBC Secretariat that manages the day-to-day running of the commission.
We are in the process of consolidating the register of voters. As you are aware that we just completed the enhanced continuous voter registration. We have still not also closed on the continuous voter registration, but at some opportune time we are going to close to allow us to do administrative work. So right now we are with the voters that we have enrolled. We are now consolidating the register.
IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati during the event said the body was on track with preparation activities towards the upcoming polls, noting that voters will soon embark on an audit exercise to verify their details.
We now have an audit firm. KPMG succeeded among the 4 firms which bid. And they are the ones who will be undertaking the exercise of the audit.
In an effort to ensure election disputes are handled and solved amicably, Chief Justice Martha Koome said the Judiciary Committee on Election JCE has partnered with the IEBC to train judges in handling election-related cases.
I urge the Commission to always bear in mind our history of contested elections. We have been faithful since independence to hold elections every 5 years, and how this has often led to sometimes very serious contestation that led to loss of life and property. Every time we have nearly come to the tip of sliding into anarchy, it is after general elections. It is in response to this undesirable legacy that the Kenyan people and the drafters of our constitution ensured that we provided very detailed principles and rules regarding how we conduct our elections.
Marjan is the first non-lawyer to hold the position. Dolly Murigi, Hope TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Dolly, for that report. Now, the IEBC is set to investigate utterances by Gatundu South Member of Parliament Moses Kuria, who appeared to suggest that he was among a team of people who rigged the 2017 general election votes in favor of President Uhuru Kenyatta. IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati announced this during the swearing-in of the Commission's new CEO, Marjan Hussein, adding that the Commission will take action against the lawmaker. During the UDA National Delegates Convention, Kuria alleged that he and others who are now allied to Deputy President William Ruto's camp rigged the election in favor of Jubilee.
The Commission will proceed and take action on Moses Kuria in terms of the law. Our team will investigate, and if the wording is said is confirmed and found to be offensive, then we shall proceed to summon him. So that then we have an investigation team that will deal with that, and that will be done as soon as possible. So, of course, we heard what he said, but he has his right to defend himself. So we also need to collect the evidence and before we summon him.
To some politics, ODM party leader Raila Odinga has met with the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's trade envoy to Kenya Theodora Clark at the House of Commons, where they discussed on matters revolving around the partnership between the two nations and the sole objective of revitalizing the economy post the COVID-19 pandemic. Odinga said there are opportunities in the UK and Kenya that can be harnessed in trade and agriculture, requesting the UK to put more investment into agricultural production in Kenya and not just importing raw materials from Kenya. Odinga later said President Uhuru Kenyatta will be his advisor if elected as the 5th president. Kennedy Kimani now reports.
Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has met with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's trade envoy to Kenya, Theodora Clark, where they discussed matters of economy and how the two countries can leverage on the opportunities in trade and agriculture. Odinga said the two countries are long-standing partners and members of the Commonwealth, adding that he wants the UK to invest more in agricultural production in Kenya and not just import raw materials. After the meetings, the ODM leader had an exclusive interview with the BBC where he disclosed that President Uhuru Kenyatta will be his advisor if he forms the next government. President Kenyatta has already preferred Odinga to be his successor by endorsing him publicly on many occasions, with the recent one being on Saturday during the Azimio la Umoja National Delegates Conference held at the KICC. However, Deputy President William Ruto and his allies believe that Odinga will be a puppet president, with President Kenyatta left to rule the country using the back door. Odinga, who is in a 5-day UK tour, is accompanied by a section of Azimio la Umoja chief proponents who include Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu, former Gatanga MP Peter Kenneth, Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho, and Suna East MP Junet Mohamed.
The Ukraine crisis, like the COVID-19, is a global phenomenon. The United Nations needs to urgently take leadership in finding a solution through diplomacy and dialogue already initiated in recent discussions in the Security Council. And Kenya has taken a very firm stand on this issue. In Kenya, we stand to lose about 10 billion Kenyan shillings worth of exports to Russia as a result of sanctions. That is about $100 million US.
Odinga is on Thursday expected to meet with the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. Kennedy Kimani, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you, Kennedy, for that report. Still on politics, a section of leaders allied to Kenya Kwanza have vowed to free the country's economy from what they say is state capture. Speaking in the company of Deputy President William Ruto in Starehe constituency, the leaders said a few individuals have taken control of key government institutions to protect their commercial and political interests at the expense of ordinary citizens. The Deputy President claimed the country has been held hostage by a few individuals who reaped all the fruits and urged Kenyans to elect leaders who understand the needs and struggles of ordinary citizens.
Serikali ambaye inakuja kuundwa na William Ruto ni serikali ya kuchunga Wakenya, wale wako hapa chini, vijana wasaidiwe, hata hao wapate kitu yao. Kulikuwa na mkutano pale Safari Park, matajiri wakiongea vile watachunga mali yao. Tunataka huyu William Ruto akichukua, kuwe na mkutano ya vijana wakipanga pia vile watapata mali waweze kuendesha mambo yao.
Hatutaki nchi ambayo ni ya matajiri peke yao. Tunataka nchi ambayo matajiri na maskini watakuwa na nafasi katika nchi yao.
Tunataka kupigana na kitu inaitwa state capture. Hii nchi yetu imetekwa nyara na wachache. Wachache wameteka nyara nchi yetu na wako katika sekta zote za kiuchumi. Tunataka tuondoe hiyo, ndio kila mtu wa Kenya apate nafasi ya kufanya biashara. Na mimi nataka niwaambie watu wa Nairobi, kuna majamaa ambao hawajawahi kufika huku mtaani, wanaketi kwa maofisi makubwa makubwa, wanakishi katika mahoteli kubwa kubwa, ati wanasema watatupanga na mtu ya kitendawili. Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Kanairo, mimi nawauliza, hii Kanairo mutakubali tupangwe na watu kwa mahoteli na maofisi?
Kisii Senator Sam Ongeri has officially ditched the ODM party and found a new home at the Democratic Action Party of Kenya, that is DAPK. Ongeri, who is vying for the Kisii gubernatorial seat in the August polls, was welcomed to the outfit by party officials led by Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa. Dagoretti Member of Parliament Simba Arati, who is also eyeing for the Kisii gubernatorial seat through an ODM ticket, is reported to be the party's favorite in the race, with Ongeri's exit simplifying the nomination arithmetic. Meanwhile, Cyrus Jirongo's United Democratic Party, UDP, has also received defectors from Musalia Mudavadi's Amani National Congress party, led by Vihiga Senator George Kihaniri. Jirongo assured the defectors of full support in advancing the Azimio la Umoja agenda to mobilize as many voters as possible behind Raila Odinga's presidential bid.
Gunning for governorship in Kisii County. Amen. And I'm appealing for all Kisii community. See me as a man of development. Yes. See me as a man of peace. See me as a man who wants to participate in the overall unity of this nation. See me as a candidate gunning for the position of governorship in Kisii County with my colleagues. See me as a man who is going to pursue peace to the last end of that peace. Because I believe that we must seek peace and pursue it. This is biblical. It's not something that I picked out of my mind. It is there in 1 Peter 3, verse 8 to 11. And therefore, we are going to work together as a nation of Kenya, not as small pieces of Kenyans. We shall be able to embrace peace as our vanguard. And therefore, when the party slogan says Mwamko Mpya, that is the basis, that's the message we are carrying home. God bless you.
There is no examination leakage, and there will be none until the 2021 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE examinations are concluded. This is a message by the Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, who commissioned a complete competency-based curriculum CBC classroom at the Precious Girls High School in Riruta, Nairobi County. At the same time, Magoha gave an assurance that CBC classrooms construction in most counties was over 80% and promised to fast-track the process to ensure classrooms are ready before junior secondary school in 2023. Grace Wangoi has more details.
Wednesday marked day 3 of theory examinations for 2021 KCSE candidates. Since his tenure began, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has strived to live up to an irregularities-free examination as he came into the ministry at a time when national exams were marred with irregularities and breach of examination guidelines.
Let us be very, very clear that during my tenure and by the grace of God, our exam shall not leak. And it is not just me, it is the whole team, including you people.
On this note, during this year's exam, George Magoha gave learners and parents full confidence that the multi-agency approach had been put in place to ensure exam administration and marking were done without any irregularities.
This exam has not leaked, it shall not leak because of the multi-government, the multi-agency approach that we are giving it through the 3 ministries of Education, Interior and ICT. The examination does not leak, it is safe in the container. So when I see in the papers that our funds have been found before the exam has started and they have answers to questions, that is absolute hogwash and you can take it to the bank.
Magoha pointed out some hotspot zones that despite warnings from the ministry, there are teachers who are still persistent in committing exam irregularities.
Let us continue to inspect the toilets and also to observe the teachers who are manning the exam, because right now in Tharaka Nithi, we just found 2 teachers discussing the chemistry paper. And all they could say, oh, me, I got E in chemistry, so there's nothing I can. But what are you doing with my paper? Outside, and there are 2 of you.
Speaking after commissioning a classroom at the Precious Girls Rerouter, Magoha expressed the CBC exams for grade 6 learners had already been set. According to Magoha, the new way of assessing learners will remove pressure from learners. Pressure from national exams have been seen to be one of the reasons for exam malpractices.
CBC will answer all this. Why CBC is so important for us as a government and as a people is because it is taking away the premium of examinations. The high premium in exams is gone. By the way, the grade 6, which will start class in May and do their exam in December, will have already accessed 60% of their assessments in 3 different years, and they are very normal assessments. And the 40% is not going to be as high a premium as we are. So I believe that the Kenyan people, even though there is a threat of money worshipping, but our people will listen to the voice of God.
Grace Wangoi for OpTV News Watch.
Thank you, Grace, for that report. On that note, we take a break. On News Watch tonight, we have plenty more stories coming up, including police recruitment.
What's the 9,000 doing? I can't believe my eyes!
Yes! I knew they could do it! But how? Get ready for a super surprise this coming Sunday with all new super episodes.
Who will join me?
They're delivering bread and meat to Elijah. All new super adventures, all new super season.
I'm Chris. I'm Joy, and this is Gizmo. You should come with me.
Let's have fun while learning from Chris, Joy, and Gizmo.
What are you doing?
All new Superbook Season 4 exclusive to Hope TV, where you look and live. Only God can turn a mess into a message.
I have a boy on a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'm still preaching on the pulpit.
Amen. Niliona mguu ya nyuma inakuja tu kunikanyaga, imenilenga tu kwa tumbo. Nikaitana tu Jesus.
I got tired of working with the x-ray papers, and one day I just woke up and decided to burn them.
A test into a testimony.
The whole community didn't want to hear that anybody is born again. Excommunicated straight.
Bila Yesu hakuna njia.
Join Sharon Naitore Wangenye on Testify.
Katika hiyo harakati hiyo spirit ikakemewa, mimi nimeona Yesu Kristo namna hii. Kwa msalaba. Opa. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Every Thursday at 8 p.m. for a moment to grow your faith some more.
The Bible is unchanging and timeless, and its words are relevant for every generation. Join Dr. David Jeremiah each week on Turning Point as he delivers the unchanging Word of God to an ever-changing world. With his sincere, straightforward teaching style, David Jeremiah provides a rich study of Scripture from which you can find spiritual strength, encouragement, and guidance for today's world. Join Dr. Jeremiah every week on Turning Point, right here on this station.
Join us every Sunday for unlimited, uplifting, powerful worship. Only on Extended Worship.
welcome back. Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungata has asked reputable private security firms in the region to vet guards prior to recruitment. Elungata contends that cases of security guards conniving with criminals to break into business premises and homes were on the rise, stressing on the need to run background checks on people seeking to work as private security workers. Elungata was speaking in Mombasa during a meeting between him and representatives of private security firms under the umbrella of Mombasa Security Forum in his boardroom at Uhuru Nakazi building.
Hiki kundi tulianza baada ya kuona tuko na challenge fulani ya mambo ambaye inatukamba sisi zote, ya kuwa kwanza tunaandika watu wanatoka kwa kampuni yangu wanaenda kwa yule mwingine anawaandika na kwangu wameimba, wanatoka kwa wake wale wameimba wanakuja kwangu mimi nawaandika, so tunakuwa na circle of thieves. Alafu wanatupeleka kotini, tunawafadi wanatustaki, so we are becoming losers. So when we sat together, we thought that we can be able to exchange views and exchange information, and that's how we came about and sat together and came up with the Mombasa Security Forum.
You people are the ones who can really make the Nyumba Kumi initiative work better, because you are also right there where the chief is. Wako huko, kwa sababu utakuta kwenye petrol station mko, kwenye kuna bar mko, kwenye kuna hoteli kubwa mko, hata kwenye businesses zingine ambazo mko, you know, kwa go downs mpo, hata huko kwa port mpo, kwa airport, you know, you are everywhere. Kiona kuna kitu kinafanyika vibaya mahali, or a rally is going into overdrive, is becoming violent, let us know. We want to show that Kenya can hold an election without any trouble, without any violence, without disrupting lives, and so on. So we expect that election day will be like any other day.
The National Police Service Commission NPSC chairperson Eliud Kinothia says an additional 5,000 officers will be recruited to the service next week in replacement of those who exited the service through national attrition. NPSC has recruited 43,248 police officers in the last 10 years to increase the number of security personnel serving in the National Police Service. Speaking during the official launch, of NPSC pre-recruitment and career guidance forums in Mombasa County, they said the forum will help stop individuals with indiscipline and other misconduct in the society from joining the service. According to the commission, next Thursday's countrywide police recruitment will be free and fair, with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, religious groups and civil societies representatives expected to attend as observers.
Niseme ya kwamba nafasi hii ambayo imetolewa nchini kama tangazwa, tutakuwa tunatafuta maafisa wa polisi 5,000 nchini kote, na hawa watakuja kuongeza katika idadi tulio nayo, kwa sababu maafisa wa polisi wengi wamepungua juu ya kustaafu, wengi huenda wakawa wameumia hapa na pale kwa sababu ya kazi, na wengine pengine wametuacha kwa njia nyingine. Kwa hivyo hii nafasi itakuja kuongeza hiyo idadi ili tuwe na maafisa wa kutosha, ama Inspector General awe na maafisa wa kutosha anapoelekea kufanya ama kusimamia uchaguzi wa nchi hii ambao tunajua unakuja hivi karibuni. Na kile tunafanya inatokana na utafiti ambao tumeona katika record zetu ambao tunaletewa. Tunaona mambo mengine ambao vijana wakisaidiwa kujizuia wakiwa bado hawajaingia ama wanapojitayarisha, basi tutaweza kupata mbegu mzuri ya kuingiza na kupanda katika hii taaluma na kazi ya polisi.
The National Council of Population and Development has signed an MOU with the Media Council of Kenya in regards to population development in the country and how the issues can be communicated to the public through the media. Media Council of Kenya Chief Executive Officer David Omoyo during the signing of the MOU in Nairobi said this will allow access of the media to critical information at the NCPD by developing story ideas on matters of research and development. At the same time, the council backed the streamlining of the border sector in the country.
Give the media houses an opportunity to have an in-depth interrogation of what certain strategic public sector entities do. We'll go further, get a day or two with different journalists and different subject matter experts from the partner institution, and we'll proceed further and provide strategic travel grants or story writing grants, because when you listen to those presentations, then you develop ideas about stories you want to.
We want to really have this partnership, and this partnership we want to really be a long-standing partnership, so that us as a council, we're able to share with you this information. We train the journalists, and then they can share this information with the public. We work with different agencies in the government, specifically with the State Department, the Interior, the Minister of Interior, especially with the county commissioners and the chiefs, so that they can convey issues of population to the community. So we work with them at the county level, at a division level, and so that at least they are able to share this information.
3 weeks to the Orange Democratic Movement ODM party nominations, candidates intending to fly its flag in the next general elections are still in the dark on the mode which will be used to pick the flag bearer in Siaya. The candidates led by a contender for the Siaya gubernatorial seat, lawyer George Mbeya, is challenging the party's headquarters to come out openly on the method that will be used during the primaries slated for early April. Addressing the media in Siaya town, where he had a breakfast meeting with the business community, Mugoe said it is high time the party headquarters assured its members that the exercise will be conducted in a fair, simple and democratic manner.
They also need to be clear that that exercise is going to be conducted in a fairly, simple and a democratic manner, devoid of corruption, devoid of favoritism, and devoid of there's this class they talk about dynasties. The dynasties should set an example in the way they are carrying out or they're going to conduct the nominations for Siaya County, so that we set an example to the exercises that are going to follow after that.
Inaonekana kana ODM inataka kutujaribu ama kutuchezea akili, na sisi ni wana ODM. Hatutaki tuletee watu hapa ambao wako na integrity issues vile wenzetu wamesema. Tunataka wana ODM wakuja hata kama ni 20. Muradi tu tuende kwa primaries. Wananchi sisi wenyewe wale ambao tumeregister kama wana ODM tuchague the best from our 20.
Integrity issues is very key. Kwa sababu in our chapter 6 of the constitution iko very well captured there. Hatutaki chama chochote cha kisiasa kifanye mzaha na mambo ya integrity, hasa kwa viongozi ambao wanaenda kutuletea kufanyia nomination.
That we shall unconditionally support all ODM candidates who will pass through a fair, free and transparent ballot nomination process. That's within Nyamira County.
Across our borders, Somalia is marking yet another delay in the electoral process that should lead to the appointment of a new president, which has been expected for more than a year. This follows failure to complete elections for the lower house of parliament by Tuesday, 15th March deadline. On Tuesday, the federal states of Southwest and Galmadag concluded the election of their representatives, but 40 of the 275 seats in the lower house remained to be filled in the 3 states. The closure of the lower house elections is a crucial step towards the election of a new president. Somalia has been facing an insurgency by radical Islamist Shababs for 15 years. Somalia has been waiting for more than a year for a new head of state to be elected. President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed, known as Farmajo, has been president since 2017, and his term expired on the 8th of February 2021 without having reached an agreement with regional leaders on the organization of elections. Even further afield, defense ministers from the countries of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, as well as non-affiliated countries neighboring Russia, have met to discuss Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has accepted that his country can never join NATO. This significant change of position may help open the way towards an end to the war in his country. In the build-up to the Russian invasion, a key demand of President Putin was that Ukraine must remain outside the Western military alliance. Both Russian and Ukrainian negotiators have spoken of progress in negotiations, although there are few specific details. Russia has said it wants Ukraine to declare neutrality, disarm, recognize Crimea as part of Russia, and recognize the Donbas region as independent. Ukraine has been calling for a ceasefire and the immediate withdrawal of all Russian forces. At the same time, the European Union is seeking ways to support Ukraine and defeat Russia. Let's take another break. Business news is coming up.
Because women talk more and they are not very strong physically, when they want to hurt their husbands or their children or anybody, they use the tongue.
Families under God.
How can we continue to live carelessly in ease?
Join Reverend Dr. Judy Mbugua as she imparts families through prayer, evangelism, and social transformation with the Word of God.
You know, God is not asking you to manage. He's asking you to be available. Amen. And He will make you able and capable.
Families Under God, Sundays at 8:30 p.m. only on Hope TV.
Why is it in the African context again? And most times as a man, when you don't have biological children, people almost think it is your wife who has an issue or it is a man who has not done something. And people want to come in and offer solutions to the man.
And if you do not know why you can't get children, there's a place where you can go. If you can't naturally get children, there's a place where you can go and actually get.
We don't know why, but Friday sees more smiles than any other weekday.
Come on.
We'd like to be part of the reasons you smile. Every Friday at 11:30 a.m. on Hope Junction, we play the latest jams plus your requests.
This is my God, my strength and song. Be glorified.
If your favorite song tells your story better, let the whole world hear it.
Look to Jesus and receive whatever you may need. You will surely receive.
Yesu ndiye njia. Juu ya mwamba huu nitalijenga kanisa langu.
Hapa leo hii tuko na msikiti wa Mariamu, msikiti wa Yesu.
Kumbe kuna msikiti wa Yesu.
Ukiandika msikiti wa Yesu Kristo, mwana wa Mariam, weka injili ndani, hubiria watu injili.
Kitabu ya Yohana inaandikwa 110 AD na Ufunuo Yohana 248 AD.
Na Qur'ani
Mimi nakueleza habari ya Yesu kwanza, ufahamu hiyo kwanza.
Ungana na walimu wa neno wanapochambua masuala tata katika Biblia, wakiyalinganisha na vitabu vingine vya kidini.
Quran imekuja mwaka 600 baada ya Injili.
Yesu ndiye njia.
Biblia inasema pepo la nini? La uaguzi. Pepo la uaguzi maana yake inaweza ikajua wewe nyumbani kwako umetoka saa ngapi. Unajua mapepo yanajua hivi. Kwamba leo ulikula chakula gani.
Kama Bwana Yesu alitumwa kwa wana wa Israeli peke yao, wengine wetu ambao tunamwamini, basi sehemu yetu iko wapi?
Yesu ndiye njia. Kila Jumamosi saa 2 hadi saa 4 ya usiku kwenye runinga uipendayo ya Hope TV.
Hope TV is now available on GoTV Channel 103, Zuku Channel 873, Signet Channel 817 and Star Times Channel 026. Enjoy our uplifting content and family-friendly programming anytime. Hope TV, you look and live.
KCB Group PLC has recorded a historic 74% rise in profit after tax for the full year ending December 2021, riding on economic recovery across markets. Net profit grew to 34.2 billion Kenya shillings compared to 19.6 billion a year earlier, on the back of increased income, cost management and lower credit provisions, which saw the group post higher returns to shareholders. During the period under review, the group's revenues increased by 13.5% to 108.6 billion Kenya shillings on account of a rise in net interest income, which was up 15% to 77.7 billion. Commenting on this, KCB Group CEO and MD Joshua Oigara said they expect good business momentum this year, with a projected economic recovery across markets.
If I look at the businesses overall, in terms of our performance, I'm trying to see which side. This is an important homing point to share the story for our own organization. So the aspirations for this year, which I spoke again earlier last year, is really driving an organization holistically is committed to driving a level of excellence for customer service. So the commitment and conviction around success, we measure it, is something that really we live for across our organizations. And our NPS scores has remained one of the strongest convictions around drive where we are going. Last year we had difficulties in our CS, but we see our momentum changing and growing on a year-on-year basis. Most efficient institution in terms of our cost-income ratio. Our NFI ambitions remains at 33%, and our contribution for our regional businesses remains at 20%. At the end of this financial year. Those four remains, as the group chair talked about, how do we deliver or enable our customers to really build.
And CIC Insurance Group PLC has reported a profit before tax of 960 million Kenya shillings for the year 2021 compared to a loss before tax of 80 million shillings recorded in 2020. The positive results are attributed to the implementation of key transformational initiatives during the year. Key among them, performance management, functional structures to support the group's corporate strategic plan, operational efficiency, cost optimization, digital research, and innovation, among others. During the period under review, the group's gross written premium, excluding pension contributions, increased by 16% to 19.6 billion Kenya shillings compared to 16.9 billion at the end of 2020. Investment income grew significantly by 64% from 1.4 billion in 2020 to 2.3 billion Kenya shillings in 2021, driven by increased investments in various instruments. Operating and other expenses for the year was 4.7 billion, whereas in the previous year the company incurred 4 billion Kenya shillings. The group's total assets increased by 7% to 41.5 billion compared to 38.8 billion at the end of 2020. The regional subsidiaries continued to grow and improve performance, contributing to 11% of the group gross written premium. CIC Malawi grew gross written premium by 43%, while CIC Uganda grew by 44%. And in sports, the Handball Federation of Kenya has launched a project aimed at development of the national sports system, with International Handball Federation appointing Dr. Zoltan Makzinka from Hungary to conduct the IHF Level C coaching course. The project, which is sponsored by the Olympic Solidarity Program and the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, has attracted a total of 28 coaches with Level D coaching course from Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Rwanda. The federation selected coaches from different parts of the country with the aim of ensuring the skills acquired during the program are passed down to the grassroots level. Coaches participating in the program will be eligible to acquire Level C coaching license upon completion.
I think it's extremely important to develop sport in the other part of the world, not just in Europe. So I think the International Olympic Committee is very gracious to help in that one. And also the Kenya Handball Federation, led by Charles Omondi, taking the initiative and taking the opportunities to use this kind of funding. Of course, this funding, it needs to be earned with good work and with good progress, but I can see that the International Handball Federation also supports this with providing material and providing the experts. So I think this is a good way to start. Every developing country needs help to start, but after that the country has to follow up, and this is very, very important to take the first step. But even most important, that those participants who gain more knowledge and a higher certificate take this one as an opportunity, as a vehicle to introduce handball to more and more kids and develop the sport here in Kenya and in the surrounding countries as well. In Hungary, we have more than 50,000 handball players all over. Hungary is only 10 million in population, so in terms of population, this is a good rate. Hungary is one of the powerful countries in Europe and in the world, and for this more than 50,000 players, we have more than 3,600 clubs. They're playing handball, and we have 2,400 registered coaches to help that work. It's a very popular sport in Hungary, and we treat equally women's handball to men's handball. And then also in terms of TV coverage and in terms of national team, they're just as popular as the men counterparts. So it's a good team sport for the ladies also. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Defending champions Tusker were held to a barren draw by KCBFC at the Kasarani Annex in a closely contested affair. The Bankers were the better side in the first half, creating numerous chances but could not break the deadlock. KCB maintains their fifth position on the log with 37 points, while Tusker retains their second place with 41 points, 5 behind league leaders Kakamega Homeboys, who are set to play Ulinzi Stars on Thursday. In a post-match interview, KCB head coach Zedekiah Ochieng admits his side should have been more clinical and deserved to bag maximum points, which on his side, Tusker FC coach Robert Matano admits playing against KCB is not a walk in the park and is contented with a draw.
A draw against Tusker is not a bad result, and considering that we controlled the game throughout the 90 minutes, I don't think there's anywhere where we were going to lose the game until the last minute when we got the opportunity to score and we didn't score. Every coach wishes that he can score all the chances the team is creating, but it's impossible in football. But we are just trying to keep on working very hard and try to make sure that when chances come our way, we score.
And Manchester United are out of the Champions League after a 1-0 home defeat to Atletico Madrid saw them beaten 2-1 on aggregate. Renan Lodge's first half header was enough to take Diego Simeone's side into the quarterfinals as Ralph Rangnick's team endured a frustrating evening at Old Trafford. United showed plenty of effort and had Old Trafford rocking with a high-intensity start, but they simply ran out of ideas and inspiration the longer the game went on. Atletico digging in and defending with the sort of relish they have shown many times over the years. At the same time, in Amsterdam, Darwin Nunes scored the winner as Benfica beat Ajax at home to reach the Champions League quarterfinals. That concludes Newswatch tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. See you tomorrow, same place, same time, God willing, and have a good night.